Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the EllBristow HardKore Challenge, episode 6, and today is the big day. We're making waves, we're making moves, and we're starting with a time warp. Namely, for the Ike and Duna launch window. The two vessels that will take us there have been designed. It took many hours, because if I do say so myself, they are rather ingenious, and I look forward to displaying them to you. Let's see, a little bit of stroke generator for the viewers that aren't used to those yet. Let's see, 40 days remaining. I think I'm going to go with 5 days to the launch window. Gives me a little bit of time to muck about. And, well, you can launch 5 days in advance, and it's still a time trial. I've thought about using a brachistochrone trajectory or a faster trajectory, and I never really did more than think about it because it would be ludicrously expensive, both in funds, money, computing resources, and just plain old insanity credits, of which you can only expend so much for any given mission. Right, so now it's 5 days until launch, and as I said, we have two. Now that I'm time warping, come on, let's at least launch in the daytime. Come on. Turn around, little planet. Turn around. There we go. Yes, daytime. We have 2 launches to do, and we're gonna send one Kerbal, and the first launch is the Duna service module. Total cost 2 grand, and this will go up unmanned. Now you will remember that we are using remote tech, and that means unmanned things aren't as easy as they are in stock, and we have absolutely zero network of communication satellite. So this needs to be in a stable orbit before losing line of sight to the KSC, which could be a problem. Right, so this needs its own stage because otherwise it might happen too soon. So basically what you're gonna see is a incredibly inefficient ascent trajectory. So Bob is not going to be in it. Of course it does have a command pod, because it will also serve as a return vehicle. The rocket is fairly simple, 3 big mainsail boosters, and that will see us to orbit. So let's wheel it out to the launch pad and see how that goes. This will be a long mission, and I've just set a timer. I'm aiming for episodes around 35 to 40 minutes in length, and it will be several episodes that way. Right. Oh, nice. Safe Haven, of course, has a finite life support cycle of its own, the station. We may have to deal with that one way or another. Alright, so this costs 200 grand, we have 800 grand, that's fine. And let's go. As I said, we're gonna go pretty much straight up until we at least have an apoapsis outside the atmosphere, and then we can spend the rest of the time boosting for orbit. We have 2 antennae on the ship. Well, they're behind the fairing, so I can't show them you. A always on omnidirectional 500 kilometer one, and a directional more kilometer one. That one, as soon as the fairings separate, will have to be pointed towards the mission control, but I don't think we really can be 500 kilometers away and still have line of sight. Although if we have about 200 kilometers of altitude and a couple kilometers downrange, basically we just have it for insurance. Alright, bringing up the far window, because these mainsails, when some of the fuel runs out, they really have the potential to ruin your day by thrusting too hard against the atmosphere. But I added some tanks. I'm not sure if it's against the spirit of the challenge, I don't think so, but I went through several design iterations, although I never tested it as far as orbit. I only tested it for structural integrity and staging, well, functionality. I hope that's okay, because if it's not, it's nigh impossible to make a nice spaceship. And well, if that's the aspect of the HardKore challenge, then maybe it's not as nice as I thought it was. So yeah, there have been many hours spent in, even though, well, you wouldn't say it from this basic view, but the rocket as a whole has absorbed rather a few more hours of design time than I was originally anticipating, and as a result I'm rather proud of it. I hope everything works out, and then we'll have a massively cool mission to look forward to. Right, so let's gently attempt a start to a pitch over maneuver. Oh, that's really dumb because we're almost at separation time and don't really want to be pitching over then. So let's get rid of these engines first. I might have attached the Separaton to, but we got away with it. And now we just have this center mainsail stack. Things are not going very fast, but that's because we're going in a weird trajectory. And now that this mainsail is going to start burning its fuel, we should be able to accelerate more. This final revision has not actually been tested, so I hope we'll manage it. If things start looking like maybe we won't, we can bring up the flight computer and program... Oh, I can also get rid of the fairings, of course. We can bring up the flight computer and program a burn. Throttle for like 100% for like another minute. Yeah, I have not experimented with that at all. I don't even know how this works, but well, we can then try and do something real quick. So here we have the interplanetary service module. It has lots of life support. It has life support for years and years for one Kerbal, but of course remember we are building this with reliability in mind. So lots of the life supports can fail, can leak. Same deal with the fuel. We have lots of small tanks here, so if one gets punctured, the mission is not over. So let's actually target this antenna to mission control now. And now basically we just cross our fingers and burn for the future. There we go, 127 kilometers. The yellow line is neatly showing our lines of communication. And we have a nice high arc going on, and we need to add about 1 kilometer per second to our speed, and then we will be in orbit. Now it won't be a problem to use a bit of the fuel in this service module. On its own it has about 8 kilometers per second of delta V. We will be attaching of course 2 landers and a satellite for the Duna system, but I made them very light. Total they are about 20 tons. So they will, just off the top of my head, reduce delta V to about 5 to 6 kilometers per second. And that should still be plenty to get the Duna to slow down propulsively and to maneuver from Duna to Ike. And then of course we're back with just the service module and 1 extra pod. Oh yeah, that's funny. I made the service module to be capable of having 2 Kerbals, but then I decided to only send 1. So yeah, there is a slight over-engineering in the ship that way. I will show it you when we're launching the landers, because then it will become apparent. Almost at orbital velocity now, and still well in range of the KSC. Here the number in the top left shows the delta T. That's the time delay in controlling the ship. So let's have a look. It's not feasible to wait for apoapsis to finish the burn, because then we won't have control anymore. But oh yeah, the staging is completely messed up, so I'm going to have to do that manually. Decouple the booster and then lighting the nuclear engines, and you will see that that's only 2, and that's for reliability issues, because the end of lifetime for engines is about 10 hours after ignition. And well, it will already be a pain to reuse these at Mars, at Duna, but then the reliability, the mean time between failures, decays exponentially. So we have of course lots of spare parts to go and fix them if they break and all that good stuff, but the time between those occurrences will decrease exponentially. So in the end it will only work for like maybe a minute. So I'm saving these 2 engines for, well, basically for when these 2 become unusable. It means that the burns in the beginning will be excruciatingly slow, and that's a definite downside to this way of doing things. But it will also mean that we are extra reliable, and that's one of the focal points of this mission after all. So we are almost in a stable orbit. We just need to kick up our periapsis to about 70 kilometers, and then we can leave this ship behind and go launch the Kerbal. And I need to do it from here because I'm gonna lose connectivity any time now. So we're gonna end up in a little strange orbit by 70 kilometers by almost 300 kilometers. But that's fine by me. No worries about that. So our Duna service module. Let's see about that. All the consumables looking good. No leaks yet. Antenna is enabled. This can be left alone for now. The docking port of course is here behind the remote control bit. Yeah, so I absolutely made it so that it won't be easy to dock these two things together. I just realized. You will see why when we get them together. Right, on to the Space Center. On to the next launch, which, and of course the next money is to spend. Oh, whoopsie. Making a mess of things here. And of course oh yeah, we already decided we're gonna send Bob. I was gonna say the important decision to decide which Kerbal gets the honor, but yeah, it's Bob. It's Bob. It's Bob, you guys. Right, the Duna Expeditionary Force is a very actually squat lander. Here is all the payloads, and when I said lander, of course, I meant launcher. All the payload is in the fairing. We have two of these high-tech, incredibly high-thrust boosters, and then one simple mainsail center stage. Because the landers are so light, actually there are only 12 tons altogether. We only need an extraordinarily light delivery system, which is nice. It's a nice little piece of kit, if I do say so myself. So yeah, Bob's going. We could also send them both. Let's see. We would have the life support for it, although only just. No, we're just gonna send Bob. Although if we then eat the life support, we could have the amazing horrible situation of having to eject one of the Kerbals out the airlock so the other one lives. But yeah, let's not plan for that. If you look at the nav ball now, you'll see it's inverted because some of the payloads are mounted upside down, and I found a solution to this. Just have to click inside the fairing and control from a different command pod. So now the nav ball makes sense again. What we are going to try obviously is to rendezvous with this thing. And hey, what's this? Oh, Safe Haven is also in control now, or in contact now, which is nice because we might use that as a relay actually. Do we then have to switch to it to point one of the antenna towards the... Let's try that. That will give us a little bit more control. Activate target the service module. And I wonder if now the service module gets the antenna input or not. Because that main dish is pointed at mission control, but it still has an omnidirectional dish of 500 kilometers, and maybe it's within that because the orbital distances around Kerbin are actually quite small. Oh well, let's get this into orbit first and then we'll worry about rendezvousing. Let's see, yeah, we're gonna aim for a 70 kilometer periapsis. Yeah, we're just gonna go for a low circular orbit and then we can make rendezvous from there. Right, this one is slightly cheaper, it's only 100 grand, so if it fails we can just try it again. But of course we do then need Bob to survive. Incidentally, that's also why he's on this ship, because survivability in case of a crash is a bit higher because it's packed with re-entry capsules. That said, I don't know if he's actually in one of them that has those capabilities, so maybe that is a bit of an oversight. Anyway, here we go. Oh yeah, this thing goes at 5 Gs. It's nuts. I'm ascending at half throttle now. And I'm attempting a very steep pitch over, because otherwise we're just gonna shoot straight off into the sun. Oh no, oh no, oh no! The pitch over was too steep. Oh god, oh god. Which? Oh, they both have parachutes? Okay. Which one has Bob in it? Doesn't matter, we just need to deploy all the parachutes. Okay, Bob will live. Bob will live. And we spent some cash on big honking boosters. Maybe I shouldn't try to pitch over so aggressively. But then again, we'll end up in a high orbit. Is that such a big deal apart from exploding? Is that such a big deal when compared to exploding? Right. Both parachutes are deployed. We can probably decouple these. And we are still with the one that has Bob in it. So yeah, Bob is in one of the safe capsules. Nice, yeah, so there you got a very, very brief glance at all the different landers. And these both have parachutes, because one of them is actually designed to be the return capsule for a descent to Earth, and one of them is part of the Mars lander, of the Duna lander actually. So yeah, there's that. Actually, it's quite nice to see two of these pods landing simultaneously. You almost never see that, because obviously you can't really control two ships at once. This is also peculiar. This ship is lighter, is heavier, but it's sinking slower. Presumably because this docking port has some ludicrous drag value or something. Right, so there's that. Mission failure, although a soft failure, because Bob is still alive. We shall try this again, and we shall worry less about the perfect ascent profile, because the launcher has brawn enough to fix anything. Right, Expeditionary Force, Bob in the command seat. That was the safe one. Launch it. So trying to put the fairing right side up. No, this is the wrong command pod. Yeah, the nav ball is now right side up. There we go, 5G's online. And yeah, let's just have it take care of itself and scale back that horrible throttle. Yeah, now we can just chase the marker. That should work just as per normal. The problem is, I tested this once and attempted to pitch over after like a few seconds after launch, and it was already completely impossible. But of course it's not mandatory to run these ridiculous engines at full throttle, so we are perfectly content doing it this way actually. A mere 2G ascent for nice controlled level of aerodynamic drag, gravity drag, and a trajectory in which the vectors are actually under our control rather than up to the gods of chance. Hey look, there's the moon and Minmus in the sky. Both of them sending us off into a happy space mission. Right, 45 degrees established, boosters almost run out. Let's give them one more super kick. There we go. Mucked up the trajectory a little bit, but we can at least separate them away. Fairing's gone. That was actually a bit too soon. We're still in the atmosphere, although only just. So now we can open up the mainsail and show you the landers. This monstrosity is the Duna lander. It has 4 parachutes and 4 pylons. It has 5 engines, a center one and 5 outer ones. This is also the maneuvering unit for pretty much every aspect of the flight. Up until the docking point, it'll be the maneuvering unit for the docking endeavor now, although there's plenty of delta V left in this launcher. Let's see what our apoapsis is actually at. It's like 200 kilometers already. Holy moly. Let's target that. 200 kilometers already. We might be able to meet it here. And right, so there's lots of landing legs, batteries, and solar panels. And one thing I tried, I think that's gonna be really cool, is these 2 pylons, this one and this one, has more landing legs, and as soon as we're landed on Duna, they are going to deploy and separate away from the main rocket, and they're gonna stay behind as ground stations. They have a thermometer and a radio dish, and well, I hope that will work out because it's pretty cool. Then we have an absolutely tiny Ike lander here. It has 1200 meters per second of delta V. Ike is really tiny, and this should suffice from the from an orbit around Ike to the surface and back to orbit again. This capsule is also meant as a Kerbin re-entry pod, so we're going to attach this back to the service module. The Mars lander and return vehicle is expendable. Then on top here we have a satellite bus. This is a fuel tank with no fuel in it. It's a structural fuselage, and it has batteries, solar panels, and communications dishes. This will remain in orbit around Duna to communicate with the ground stations and possibly anything else that may need communicating with. I thought that was pretty neat for a 12-ton package. Right, let's try a maneuver node here. Oh look, we're getting a encounter immediately. Although if we do it like this, we won't actually make it because we won't be in orbit. Oh, will we actually not be in orbit then? No, we actually will not be in orbit then. Like this we will be in orbit though. Can we easily get an encounter like so? Not really. So let's get into orbit first, and then we will try. Then we'll try from a different point to get that done anyway. Can be a smaller orbit. Like yeah, here we have a similar altitude again. We'll try it there then. Cool. Of course, if we get the ships close, then because the docking port is hidden behind this bit, then we can EVA mount the. We will mount the service module, eject the remote control bit from the docking port, and then we can nuzzle that into the butt of the Mars lander. I've played too much real solar system. I'm naming the planets by their real solar system names. If that annoys you, I am sorry. I'm a stickler for correctness. Some of my viewers are, I know, and I also like myself. I also like to say the correct words, but it's hard. It's hard. Right, 24-second shove from the mainsail in the back here will get us on a nice docking trajectory. Well, not a docking trajectory, but a nice orbit from which we can establish a rendezvous. And Bob will be the first Kerbal in interplanetary space, in Duna space, anywhere. Ooh, a potential problem. The landers don't carry their own life support, just what's in the pod. They're meant for a landing and a quick getaway. So we have life support from 2 pods for 1 day and 11 hours. That will probably be enough for... Oh look, we have... The Duna service module has control from Safe Haven, but not from mission control. I wonder if we can then still control it, because there is a Kerbal in Safe Haven. But for now that doesn't really matter actually. So let's see if we can set up an intersect from here. Yeah, that works out fine. 24 kilometers, 34 kilometers. It's a bit of a shame that it will then happen in the shade, but... Oh well, we are in a bit of a hurry. Let's see, node happens in 16 minutes. That's a 300 meter per second burn. I think the mainsail driver here will easily be capable of completing the rendezvous, and then we can use the tiny Mars lander engines to take care of the actual docking. And then the thing will be ready. Oh my god, that actually went pretty well, apart from that one failure, only cost 100 grand and nothing else. Oh, it's nice to have no budgetary constraints. I tried a series, a game with a lot more budgetary constraints. It had like 5 times the part cost, and it was in real solar system. That was pretty brutal. That's where we actually ended up skimping on stuff like fuel lines and stuff to just to be able to build the rocket. And it was fun in its own way, but this is also nice, just being able to build. Right, I'm missing the window because I'm blathering and swerving the rocket left to and fro. But here we go. 5 Gs, 4 Gs, a lot of Gs anyway. A mainsail for orbital maneuvering, that's excess. That's decadence, hedonism and excess. Jebediah would approve. 28 kilometers, not actually that great a rendezvous. Let's see if we can make that better. Yeah. 5 kilometers is a different ballpark altogether. We'll get here in an hour. Life support should not be a problem yet then. Right, of course I need to kill off the relative velocity now instead of later, so otherwise we're gonna end up overshooting it anyway. 420 kilometers per I was gonna say 420 kilometers per second of relative velocity. That would have been a bit strange. It's only 420 meters per second. And we need to turn this thing around and light the engine one more time. I hope it doesn't break now. That would be unfortunate. But not catastrophic. Not catastrophic. Boom. 200 meters per second remaining. 5 kilometer separation there. There we go. 100 meters per second remaining. Oh, that's actually increasing the separation. Although that's not accurate anymore, because it says the closest approach here will be 14.7 kilometers, and it's actually closer now. So, don't know what it's on about. So, let's brake in such a way that we're actually headed straight for it. Oh, oopsie, going the wrong way. Turning this thing the wrong way. Just giving it a very small amount of throttle just to get some steering authority. And actually a closing speed of 65 meters per second is very respectable. We could do a lot more than that. And we could actually burn at it. Once this thing is rotating, you really have to own your inertial momentum to stop it, and I don't. I'm just sending it all over the place. Right, 9 kilometers away now. I think once we're really close to it, we might just time warp until we're on the DangIt side, because things are just a bit nicer then. Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty much headed straight for it now. That is nice. We can apply a bit of time warp, because this dark stuff, gee, it gets old quick. So that's 7 kilometers, 6, 5, 4, 3, and now it's not really. Right, now it's time to point straight at it, burn, and then we can, at our leisure, separate the whole thing. Or no, we don't. We can still utilize the mainsail. Although we have to be careful not to suddenly just blip the throttle, go at 500 meters per second, and then need an hour-long burn of the small engines to get rid of it. I'm exaggerating the numbers, but it is a problem if you're using a almost burnt out massive stage and then want to do the fine-tuning with a smaller stage. That is not even close to being as powerful as the powerful one. Ooh, our frame rate has taken a hit. That means that we are close to the service module. Because these two ships together have about 600 parts, because they're made of the smallest bits for reliability. Alright, alright. 1,000 meters. 900 meters. That's just about 10 seconds now. Okay, firing the engine. Slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Seven meters per second of relative speed. A tank of oxidizer is leaking. Where is that? We sprung a leak already? No, 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 no. Is that on this ship or on the Duna service module? Guys, it's on the service module. Alright, scratch everything. We're gonna go EVA and fix that. Okay, relative speed is almost dead. Are we not suddenly on a crash towards the planet? No, 75 kilometers, that's fine. But we need to friggin' fix that leak. We really can't start leaking oxidizer now. And it's a problem that everything is so flippin' dark. Of course, the tank that is afflicted will be yellow, will be red, I mean, but let's take some spare parts. Take spares. I don't know how much spares that takes. Let's just take lots of spares. Right. I see some red over there. That might be it. We're gonna have to do quite some EVAing now, because the landers, they don't have radio control modules. We need to board this one to get rid of the radio control module, and we need to still control the landers to undock, to remove the. Yeah, that's the tank. That's the big yellow, the big red glowing tank. Oh my god, I hope it didn't leak too much. Hello. Patch up the tank. No damage. Apply duct tape, man. Duct tape applied. I like that. Amazing. So we had our first failure, and fortunately Bob was available to fix it. Wow, that would have been bad had the whole tank leaked. We're gonna make we're gonna EVA back over here, make this ready for docking, then put the spare parts back as well. Then we shall. Oh dear, I now need lights to find this ship. Then we shall EVA back to the service module, and then we shall make them dock. And everything is happening at night, which is a ginormous pain in the butt. Oh god, we're approaching fast. Alright, alright. Let's not break anything else. Board. You left 9 spares. No, they are back inside. That's good. Alright. Now to get rid of this, decouple the node. Okay, so we don't have. Okay, this is dangerous. We don't want to do this now. We want to light these engines. Alright, a small blip of throttle, and then we light the engines. Okay then, we can, and our docking port here is exposed. That is good. Okay, that means that now we can turn around and stop, and then the service module should be able to do the rest. let's control it from the docking port. Aim it at the service module and stay steady now. Steady now. Well done. EVA. Back outside. So now we are going back to that ricocheting off the solar panels, because of course we are. Now we're going back to the service module, and this will be difficult because of course I made this, and we will have no RCS or anything to... We have no reverse thrust, and we need to be docking with this. So we need to be going very, very slowly indeed, which is fine. Which is fine. Oh yeah, and of course we cannot quickly tap to the other vessel, because of course that doesn't have remote control. And we can't leave the remote control on this. Wait, it might have remote control. The ground station could possibly control it. But that may be too late now. Let's actually test that out. Can I control it? No. No, no, no. Alright, let's get rid of this remote control. Oh, this is the fuel tank. Let's get rid of this remote control as well. I fitted separatrons on here, but I can just as well just decouple that node. And then I might, maybe I can switch to it and then I can fire the separatrons. That would be fun. No, it doesn't have have a good enough antenna, and the electric is gonna drain, and then none of that is gonna matter. Right, so more important things. Docking port to docking port. We are close enough to see this already. Right. How much oxidizer did we leak? Was it this tank? That's so much! Oh god! That is like almost all of it. It is from the center stack though, so it's not going to imbalance things. But that is like a whole tank. Oh my god. That's very unlucky, because these tanks actually have like a life expectancy, and that is like a useful life expectancy before failures start to happen really often, of 16 years. But you know, there's now hundreds of parts, so we're bound to be unlucky on a few counts. Unfortunately, it has become dawn, so there is that. That's the timer you hear in the background. The planned episode length is almost up. We're gonna attempt this docking, and then we'll call it quits for today. Maybe I really should have brought some RCS. But then again, that's hindsight, and hindsight is always fairly easy to get. Right, firing. There's almost no way this can work out well. Right. 0.5 meters per second is the prescribed speed. Now I have trouble seeing the ship. It is completely tilted. Okay, that is a problem. I'm going to lock this down with SAS and then quickly EVA over to control it. Does that sound like a crazy plan? I think it does. So this truck is now heading towards this at half a meter per second. It's about 60 meters away. Gives us just under a minute of useful time to get in here and fix the orientation. Or at the very least, enable the antennae so that we can try this with remote control next time. Right on. Control that from here. And we need to catch this. Is that even possible? Probably not. Yeah, let's just get rid of this residual velocity. And let's actually activate this. Target mission control. And maybe then... Where is mission control? Once we come around to mission control, we can then attempt that again. And now we can, of course, now that things are lined up a little bit better, we can try this again. Maybe there would have been advantages to sending more than one Kerbal on this mission. Things are becoming clear now. This will also get interesting in the Duna system. This is an interesting docking game where you have to actually EVA. Oh no, oh no, 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 there's no time for frolicking about in space now. We need to climb inside so you can do your EVA duties. Alright. Control from here, you fool. Oh no, no, target it. It was targeted. Alright, alright, make for that docking port. 0.7 and so much rotation. This will be a train wreck. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Well, too much speed we can deal with a little bit. I mean, these things are robust. A whole meter per second. This is going to be a rough docking. I wonder if this almost 100-ton surface module will just plow through this, or if it will be a little bit, if it will be slightly gentle. Be gentle to our dear Mars thing. No, this is going completely wrong. Come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Having no reverse thrust on any of these things. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Get rid of it. Get clear of it. No. Oh. Whew. Yeah, that was a big failure. That was a big, big failure. Alright, we'll try this again with the smaller ship. So we'll turn around and then try and do the maneuvering with this one. This has a upward firing thruster, but it's obscured by the satellite, which is a problem. Ooh, no, we're not in range of mission control yet. If we ever do get in range of mission control, then we have a window where we can do it with a little bit more flexibility, so to say, where we can control both vessels. Oh god, that leak was so scary. That might actually strand poor Bob if that happens again. Although we spent like, we had to EVA over from the other ship. So if we're on the same ship, we can probably react a little bit quicker, but still, man, that was something. A reason, even more reason to bring these things together. And also why we won't wait until we are safe within the reach of ground control, mission control. Of course, that means at least one more EVA, because this one can be remote controlled and the other one just completely can't. But what we can do is use the thrusters on the expeditionary force to just get a lot closer. Let's try the controls of the Ike lander for now. Oh god, I made this hard for me. I didn't think it through. control it from here so it makes sense in the direction of our thrusters. I didn't think this through at all. Alright, let's just get really close to this baby. Man, that was a train wreck. I suppose I'm just happy that nothing actually broke. Okay, here we are, headed for the service module, and the plan is now to like come to a halt less than a few meters from it. Well, not less than a few meters from it, but like hideously close to it, because this thing is so much more maneuverable, and then we can just slide it in the rear of the lander, its butt, so to say. And there's even bits that could be called a hole. So that is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna slide it in its butthole. No, I didn't say that. That wasn't me. Right. This should be workable, maybe. Alright. Now we want to control it from the butthole. And target that other butthole. Right, but go a little bit this way, because of course that one will also be rotating. Oh, please. Let's see. If we manage to dock this, I'm having a little party. A party in my pants. No, in the stomach. No, just a party. Damn it! Mission control party. Completely clean. No implications. We will mourn the loss of oxidizer. Is that white ejaculate when it foams into space? Oh god. I don't know what's wrong with me. Alright, we'll have a horrible angle. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Hey, are we in range of mission control yet? Please, can we please be in range of mission control? It's so close. It is so close. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to EVA back over because this is too offset. Oh god, this is taking forever. Where's the door? Come on, and I don't want another tank to break either. So, just be good, little spaceship. I made you with care. Now be good. Look at that. This is starting to look like something. And now we just need a small reverse thruster. This was never built to be good at docking. That much is obvious. And it's also obvious that I completely forgot about not having remote tech. Oh, about having remote tech and not having control. So yeah. Yay for learning new things. But I actually believe that we could make it work this time. And oh no, not if these things keep happening. Come on, we have a sort of good alignment going on here. Come on, get back to the hatch, you crazy Kerbal. No, inside. Control from there. Right. It's still incredibly lopsided. There's just nothing we're gonna do about that. Alright then, a small push on the engines. There we are. They drift so much, it's not even funny. hopefully the magnets, the magic magnets, will be able to fix things, because we are now gonna come in for touching a fondling. A rocket powered grope. Here is our probe. Consider it in. Yeah, that went wrong. Damn it. Okay, that's it. I want mission control. This is taking far too long already. I want mission control. Yes. Flight computer throttling back time warp, because we can now control this thing. Hoorah. Right, let's try this once more. And now we should be able to do it, damn it. God, this is taking forever. There goes my intent to, you know, not make feature-length videos. Fortunately, so far, actually nothing has been wasted apart from my valuable time, which is, of course, not that valuable. Oh, and we are going to crash into the service module. Never trust the robots to do the maneuvering. I mean, that's the lesson here. Where the hell are we going? So, we're going to this marker. And we are going to zero out velocity. That's what we're gonna do. And then we're going to point this hideous docking port at this hideous docking port. And ask the computer to please, pretty please, maintain that orientation for us, and we'll have no EVAing Kerbals to muck it up. Now we're gonna switch to this hideous docking port and move that there. Now we're going to give this the slightest blip of thrust, like 0.3 meters per second. Sounds like a great deal. And now we're going to control this bit with our remote control prowess to catch that hideous docking prong. And that is something that we should actually be capable of doing. Here we go. Come on. Yes! Yes! We did it! The ship is docked. Now, of course, all we need to do, we may actually have had to disable this thing, the engine here, before. Shut down engine. Oh, that engine was already enabled. Well, that was a waste because that didn't do anything. Oh well, we barely burned any fuel. Shutting down these 4 engines. And now we are good to go with 2 nuclear drives. Bob in the driver's seat of the service module. Now we can start going to Duna. Fuck yeah. And that's the end of this episode. Check back next time for interplanetary shenanigans and seeing how we get there. And discovering if we spring any more hideous leaks. Oh my god. Right. See you guys later.